Federal prosecutors asserted Monday that a longtime associate of Paul Manafort, the former chairman of President Donald Trump's campaign, has been assessed to have ties to Russian intelligence, the first time the special counsel has alleged a Trump official had such contacts. The statement came as prosecutors working for special counsel Robert Mueller withdrew their support for a joint bail deal filed last week that would have released Manafort from home detention and GPS monitoring while he awaits trial on charges including money laundering and fraud. Manafort, 68, and his longtime deputy, Rick Gates, 45, have both pleaded not guilty to charges filed October 30 in the four-page filing Monday. Prosecutor Andrew Weissman urged the judge to reject the bail deal, arguing that Manafort and a Russian colleague have been secretly ghostwriting an English-language editorial that appeared to defend Manafort's work advising a Russia-friendly political party in Ukraine. They said Manafort worked on the draft as recently as last week with a longtime Russian colleague, who is currently based in Russia and assessed to have ties to a Russian intelligence service. They indicated they would file further supporting evidence under seal. The Russian colleague was not identified in court papers. However, Manafort has had a long-standing Russian employee named Konstantin Kilimnik who ran Manafort's office in Kiev during the 10 years he did consulting work there. Prosecutors said the editorial Manafort was writing violated a court order prohibiting the parties in the case from making public statements outside of court that could influence jurors. The Kremlin issued several sharp, successive denials Monday to questions about whether then-President-elect Donald Trump's national security advisor, Michael Flynn, persuaded Russian President Vladimir Putin not to retaliate for sanctions issued by President Barack Obama. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry. The Kremlin issued several sharp, successive denials Monday to questions about whether then-President-elect Donald Trump's national security advisor, Michael Flynn, persuaded Russian President Vladimir Putin not to retaliate for sanctions issued by President Barack Obama. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry. The piece clearly was undertaken to influence the public's opinion of defendant Manafort, prosecutors wrote, noting there would be no other reason for Manafort and the colleague to have it published under someone else's name. The allegation is the first time that prosecutors have claimed any former Trump campaign official has had contacts with a Russian tied to that country's intelligence services. A spokesman for Manafort declined to comment. Kilimnik has previously denied intelligence ties, telling The Washington Post in a statement in June that he has no relation to the Russian or any other intelligence service. He did not respond to an email Monday about the prosecutor's allegation. Kilimnik attended a Russian military foreign language university in the late 1980s that experts have said was a training ground for Russian intelligence services. He served as an officer in the Russian military for several years.